And here we go. So today we're going to have a complete overview of the Max updates that are possible that have been announced. A few of them that you might have seen as sneak peeks will obviously not be covered today because they're just sneak peeks. We are also going to keep a bit of the 3D part for later because there is a lot to show, and we would want to ensure that we are able to give you the right understanding of what all has been considered or featured right now. So in Photoshop, we have Remove Tool, Firefly Model 3, Generative Workspace, Substance 3D Viewer. Then in Premiere Pro, we have in a beta version, we have Generative Extend. And then in Illustrator, we have Object to Path, Generative Shape Fill, Trace, Transparency, as well as Gradients. Again, a big thing for all of you who are from the graphics team. Lightroom has Quick Action and Generative Remove. And InDesign has Text to Image and Generative Expand. So just as food for thought, what do you guys think about this line? Creativity and the future are intimately related. I feel that this is quite useful for all of us, and it's a good food for thought for everybody who comes from the creative field, because it is true, like you are creating the future in huge ways. So just a thought, but let's just start with our concepts. Firefly is something that you already know. I'm not going to really go about explaining much about it, but Firefly is now in Model 3, and in Model 3, we have enhanced and emerged way more powerful, and we are constantly updating our software as well. So in case if you're using it, please keep checking because the updates are coming really fast, and it's something that you would want to always consider, right? Now, let me just go to one small announcement, that is 1200 billion plus images have been generated in 1.5 years, kinds, because it started in March last year is when Firefly was released, and within this span of time, with not much of awareness, it still happens to be this amount, this number, and I'm sure you all are going to make it much more, and it's going to grow way faster. This also includes everything, including the generative expands and all of that different features that have been incorporated into our software. A good trivia is that Photoshop's generative expand has been one of the most used features. So interesting fact there for the image editors as well. Now, this time it has been powered to, keep an interest on Photoshop, InDesign, Lightroom, as well as Illustrator. These are the few key software that have been considered and worked around with. So let me just start with Photoshop. So in Photoshop, it has something where you will be always seeing image editing becomes a little challenging when you have to do a photo of this sort. And being a part of India, of course, it's not an Indian image, but being a part of India, I think we all do face a lot of cables and wires and stuff like that. And I'm sure everybody who has been a part of the creative industry and has used Photoshop will really be aware of how painful an image as this could be in case if you want to clear it up. But wait no more, and regret no more. You have something called as Remove Tool, and this is now available in Photoshop. It was previously available in Photoshop Beta, now available for you, where you will just be able to click on this, which is a Remove Tool. Then you'll have Find Distractions. Go for the wires and cables, and of course, the image has a lot of wires and cables, so it's going to ask me to maintain my patience. And I have deliberately chosen an image as difficult as this because I'm sure it's going to be painful for all of us to sit and edit an image like this and ensure that it comes in the right fashion. And just like that, it's going to remove the area, and there you go, magic. It's actually enhanced, worked around, looked into everything, and removed every single cable. For everyone, if you want to see again, this is how it was, this is how it is now. So this is possible with the help of Remove Tool and distraction. Another key thing that you might want to understand is, now I'm going to try that with people. So people is again something that is very popularly a part of all our images, whether we like it or not. Especially because India is now ranked #1 with population. So if you go here and then now again go back to the Remove Tool, You had wires and cables, which is what I just showed you, and then you have people as well. So you can go ahead and choose this. You can always choose to add or subtract this with the help of your brush itself. There is again another thing that you might want to understand, that is a mode. Okay, right now we have something called as auto mode, and in auto mode you will have, it may or may not use a generative AI. If you want, you can keep it on or off. You might want to keep it off in case if you want to just, work around with some part of the cloud or something very small, because it's going to calculate and work around with this. And I just have to hit enter and it's going to do its job. So it's a very massive feature and now a part of Photoshop 2025. It'll definitely be something which will change our lives forever. So there you go. While talking to you, I was able to clean up this image and voila. So this is the second one, which is available in Photoshop. The third one would be generative expand. And let me try not showing an image of a face this time. I'll go for an image of a perspective where you have such kind of details, which might be a little difficult in general for us to expand. Now, I can just go ahead and use my crop tool, and then I have to say generative expand. Previously, I was just hitting an enter, but now I'll have to use generative expand and then generate. There are 2 clicks for this, and once I do that, it's going to calculate and it's going to give me 3 variations. So quite a good tool, and of course, quite relaxing and less painful and less time consuming for all of us who have to sit and work around and give images wherein you'll have cuts or deletes while the image was generated. And as you see, there are variations that are possible and you can always work with it. So these are 3 very interesting features. Of course, you always have the generative fill that you can go ahead and work with as well. And the next feature that I want to show you is in beta version, which is generative workspace. Now, generative workspace is available in beta version, wherein you will be able to get a very different UI, and you will also get to see the previous images that you have worked with. So it's going to keep whatever generations you keep making, it'll keep giving you the history of that. You'll actually be able to see the variations that you have worked with. All the images that have generated till now will come here and it'll always be a part of it. So you can always go back and see it and work around with this. So what it does is it allows you to have very similar controls as the web platform that you have for Firefly, wherein you'll be able to, of course, it's possible for you to do it even otherwise, but this is a more spaced out place where you have everything there. You can just go ahead and add things. You can add your references, have the composition reference, have the style reference in place. You can upload whatever you want. Then you can go ahead and add for a photograph or an art version of it, go for the themes or the materials, whatever you choose. All these options are just out here in this spaced out UI, where you will be able to do what you want and get exactly the results that you'd want to. Now, I'm just going to try giving a different text and probably get you an example of how variables can also work here. So let me say, Candyland. With candy floss clouds and chocolate rivers or waterfalls. So we'll have this specific image for now. And now I can go for variations. Now, what are the variables? In case if I want a chocolate or I want something else, I'll be able to do that here itself. So I'll just have to add my close brackets. So say, for example, if I want to just go here, add a close bracket and say chocolate, add in here versus orange juice. So I'll just keep adding a comma just to ensure that I'm able to get different things here. And say, for example, I want a Candyland versus I want um, a different land, maybe gems, M&M's. Okay, maybe gems. Land, gems, world. Okay. And I can just keep on adding whatever variables that I would want, and it'll be able to generate images based on that. So I'll just have to ensure that my brackets are right, or I can just simply add from here itself, and then I generate. So now it'll be able to generate the variations that I'm asking it to generate, and it'll give me 4 options for each. So that's how it makes it quite interesting, because now I can go ahead and talk about my concepts that, oh, I have these concepts and have these variations also possible or available for me. So there you go. I have variations for my Candyland, and then I have my variations for my Chocolate Land. The juices will change, the waterfall will change, everything will work according to my expectation. And the best part about this is that in case if you like any of these images, you can simply go and ask it to open it, and it'll instantly open on your Photoshop. And then you can do whatever needs to be done, make it into an ad or work around it, and you'll be able to do that right away. I can just expand this now and go ahead and do my stuff to make it into a creative asset or a creative work. So this is what is coming. This is what is available now in Photoshop, and each of these features seems to be quite interesting and powerful, and hopefully something that will make your life a lot more um, less complicated when it comes to photo editing, and more interesting for sure. With this, I would now like to talk about the next feature, that is for Premiere Pro. And for Premiere Pro, I would hand it over to Yaman. Yaman, if you could just take over.
One of the feature which we have introduced inside Premiere Pro. In fact, there were a couple of updates. So let me talk about two updates today. One is the generative extend video. How can you extend your video by using the generative AI? And the second one is something related with properties panel. So with your updated Premiere Pro, now you will see something called this properties panel. So whenever you will select your video, or properties on the right hand side panel. So you can see all the transform options are available along with the crop option. Earlier, if you remember, we need to apply the crop effect to crop any video. Now, crop option comes by default in this particular panel. So what is the benefit? The benefit is that now you can select a crop option directly from here. It's already applied. You do not need to apply manually. It just select crop, and now you can crop your video. No more applying a crop effect manually every time when you are dragging a footage. So whenever you will bring any video, the crop effect will automatically be applied and you can utilize this feature. Not only that, if you want to animate your crop, that also you can do by using the keyframe option. If you want to reset your cropping, you can click this reset button and it will get reset. So this is how it will work, the new properties panel. Now let me talk about the exciting feature, which is a generative extend by utilizing the Adobe Firefly. Now, if you see this clip, if I play this clip, let me play. This person is running. It's a small clip. And now the clip ends. So it is around 8-second clip, right? And the moment the person jump, the shot get cut. Now imagine if you are working on a some project and you put a background music and you want to extend only few frames of your clip. So how we are doing it right now? We might be using maybe we are cutting the last frame, right clicking using the reframe of freeze frame option to freeze that particular frame, or we might be using a time remap or maybe a speed duration option to match the duration of our video clip according to the length of our audio. But not anymore. With our Premiere Pro beta version, we have this tool. It's called Generative Extend tool. You select this tool and click at the end of your video clip and drag it up to 2 seconds. So this tool will create 2 seconds of your shot of your clip. So I extend this clip here, and now you can see the process has been started. It will the Firefly AI will process your video. It will upload it. It will process. It will generate few extra frame for your video, and it will place exactly at the same place. Now, in the interest of time, because it will take some time to upload it, and you can see it's already started generating my clip. 38% is already completed. It will take some time, like a couple of minutes to generate it. I have already done this with couple of clips, which I want to show you. So let me show you this first clip. In this clip, you can see couple of people are walking in a lobby, and then suddenly the shortcut. This is the original shot till here. But what if I need couple of more seconds, I uses the generative extend option, and now let me play the video again. And here you go. You see, the people are still walking. So even the shot is cut, the people are still walking. So this is a great tool. If you have a couple of seconds, you want to extend your clip few more seconds to complete your entire duration, you can do that now very easily. This was the another clip which I just showed you. The person is jumping, and then the shot cut the moment the guy jump. But let's see what will happen if we use the generative AI generative extend. The person is jumped from the top, and then you see he again started walking. So this is where the AI actually generated few more frames, 2 seconds of shot to extend this particular clip. You can use this for a music also. If there is a music track, you can extend a music track also up to 5 seconds, and the video can be extended up to 2 seconds. This is the another clip. So here the slices are getting cut, and now the clip ends here, right? But if I extend this clip, let's see. Now you see it's further cutting that particular tomato slice. So this is a great way. If you have any clip which you want to extend for few seconds, for couple of seconds, you can use this generative extend option. So you need to install a beta version of Premiere Pro from your Creative Cloud desktop application, and then you will able to access this particular feature. So with that, I would hand it over to Devjani. Back to you.
Yeah. So then we have our next software, that is Lightroom. Now in Lightroom, you'll be able to do the various things like quick action. Previously, you didn't have something called as quick action. Now you have quick action, which allows you to do something similar to autocorrect when it comes to Photoshop, where you have auto tone and auto color. So it's similar to that. That's available now in Lightroom. And other than this, we also have generative remove that's possible for you to do in Lightroom specifically. In case if you have any images where you would want to make some changes, we have our Firefly integrated there as well, and it helps you generate these as well. Then if I had to talk about Illustrator, so let me just take you to Illustrator and work around with the magic that's available now. So I'm sure all of you who are from the graphic design team or the graphic teams, you might have come across some images, some logos, something where you have to work around with an image instead of having the actual file. And there are times when it's quite frustrating for you to figure out how to regenerate it for printing it and working around with that. So this is one of those images. I have this specific image here wherein I have a lot of things. As you can see, there are gradients also, and it's a transparent image. Now, ideally, we would try our best to trace it, but usually would land up making it again, and that would take us a lot of time as well. But now we have some magic as well in this, and the magic is that you can go for trace, right? Now, in tracing, what can you do in tracing, right? Like, how is it going to be possible for you to work around with tracing? So let me just show you how. Let me just get the tracing abilities out. Just give me a second. And there you go, image trace. Now what we'll have to do is, this is what it's done. Let me just zoom in so you'll know what I mean. This is what it's done for me in my trace. So where is the magic? Here's the magic. So here you go, and I'll be able to, I'm just trying to figure out how. So I'll go for a high fidelity image photo. And every time you click on any of these options, it'll actually take a little time and it'll generate. And just like that, I'm pretty much there, if you can see, right? It's almost there. Another thing that you can do is you can also ensure that you'll be able to get gradients out of it. So here you go. I have gone for my gradient, have clicked that one, and I'm going to go for smooth. So it'll make it way more smoother. As you can see here, I'll just show you the umbrella part. So if I had my image here, and in case if I wanted it more smooth as compared to what it has traced, I can go ahead and make it more smooth. And there you go. It flattens it up, makes it into one single gradient and gives me that one single patch which I can work with or edit with. But this is better. I think it's done a good job here. It's given me the sections properly. So also look at this. The text is almost correct, right? And then I can also go for shapes. It'll allow me to have very smooth lines and making it a lot more easier for you to work around with. Also, now at this point, if I have to just move it around, I see that it's got a white background. That's another step for me, right? I can simply ask for transparency. And the moment I click that, it'll be able to remove the extra background because it was a PNG. And there you go. You have the image ready for an expand, and we'll all be able to use it instantly for our work projects, so on and so forth. So it's an excellent tool to work with. And yeah, Illustrator has always been really good for designers, but now it's getting even more smarter and it's able to find ways to help us out. So this is what we have when we talk about generative, uh, the image trace part of it. Now, if I had to show you something else, for people who have already attended one of my sessions earlier, where I had spoken about Illustrator, you would know that I have worked with this specific file. And now if you remember, this specific file also had only three images, which was the first three, the wildcat, the tiger, and the fox. Or these were the images that had downloaded from Shutterstock. But the fourth one was actually generated in Illustrator itself. How did I go about doing that? Well, if you see, it's pretty much in the lines of the other vectors. And it's not specific for vectors, but I'll still give you an idea about why I'm showing you this particular file. Uh, the image text to vector has become super powerful and it's able to give you very crisp and beautiful images. Now, let me just show you. This is a place where I'll try and add to my family of the faces, but I'll go for a koala, right? And I made a mistake here. I did not say koala face, but let's just see what it does. So the power of choosing what kind of vector output you want is still up to you. You can go ahead and do a scene. You can do a subject and you can do an icon. You can also generate a pattern, right? So there you go. Quite a nice one. It's quite a cute koala that we see. So I'll just take it out here, put it next to my image. But yeah, so it's actually gone ahead and given me three various options. Can you see this? It's quite a nice render for a text to vector, right? You didn't have anything, and right now you have something like this. It's actually quite brilliant. So you have variations that are available. It's given me light and shadow, and it's vector. So you can actually go ahead and change the colors as well if you want. But yeah, I do want a koala face because I want to ensure that what I'm doing is going to make a family bigger. So I'm going to go for koala face. Let me just regenerate it. So I'll go here, ask for a koala face. And this time, I'm actually going to show you all the things that I've been talking about. So you have seen, you have subject and you have icon. I've gone for subject. I have given a maximum amount of details, as well as now I'm going to go ahead and choose a style reference. And for my style reference, I'll just go for my panda face. Or if you want to make it the fox, we can just go for this one. And now I'm going to go and also look at the other options that are possible. I have gone for my style reference. I don't want any other effects, but these are all possible. You can even choose the colors that you would want to generate with. And I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. Now, as you notice, there was a specific style that was there here. It was more like polygons worked upon together to create this specific style of illustration. And we'll try our best to see whether we can generate it instantly and have the family added. And there you go. We have it. We actually have it. And as you can see, it's quite a powerful one. There you go. And there are variations that are possible for you to do. You can see which one works for you. Too serious for me. I think this one is better. So the variations out there, of course, you have generative fill, recolor, where you'll be able to change the color in case if you want to. So say, for example, I want to go for a different color here, or I can type it on, or I can just use it from here itself. See if my yellow submarine is working well for me or not. Um, Maybe I can go for something a little more vibrant. So yeah, I can go for this one and work with this. So there you go. Just like that, I was able to change the colors. Now, understand this. You need not take a style reference from a vector. It is possible for you to take an image and get a style reference as well. You can go for anything which is an illustrative style or maybe even a watercolor or anything of that sort that you have as a reference. You can choose that as your style reference and generate a vector accordingly. Now, you may wonder why I have a bottle next to it. So the bottle was just to show you something which is called mockup. I'm sure a lot of you already know about mockup, but mockup has also gotten more intelligent. So what does that mean for all those who are wanting to show their logos into the variations that are possible in the product? So if you have a logo that or a branding that you want to show on a product, you can simply use a mockup tool. Use it on a raster image. Take your vector, put it on a raster image, and just go ahead and do your mockup and create. So it's brilliant. It has always been brilliant, but it has still enhanced. So now it's almost as accurate as it can be. So it's allowing you to have your vector files right there for you and put it across to any image that you would want it to have mockup on, be it a tattoo, for example, or maybe a cap with embroidery design or anything on those lines that works for you where you're working on a specific branding exercise. You can now easily work with this and you can just edit it as well. So even if it is a mockup, it's 100% editable. I'm just going to go ahead and make it multiply. And now if you see, it's actually bending and working around the space of the product. So it makes it quite impactful. You can make it as realistic as you want. You need not really go and try to convince otherwise. It's going to blend in really well and on any surface that you would want it to. So it actually works pretty well. And your logo or anything where you have a specific image, you'll be able to work around with that and change it in case if you want to as well. So if I want to go ahead and change this image or make it into something else, change the color maybe again, I can still go ahead and do that and it will impact instantly on real time on the image where I have created my mockup. So again, a very brilliant tool for everybody who comes from the graphic design background and say, for example, I'm making him scary now, but just for the time being, it is working very well for me and I can still edit and work around with it, right? So this is the second tool that is become more powerful or more advanced as to the previous one. Now, I want to show you something else that is our fit object to path. Now, various times we have various reasons where you would have different vector formats which you would want to align in a specific format or in a specific style. And sometimes it gets a little painful because you have to sit and calculate and figure out exactly how you want to make them work around with you. I have taken an example of an infographic here, but it could be anything. It could be your illustration. It could be, birds flying or whatever. But say, for example, I am talking about an infographic out here, and this is how it was. But for some reason, I would prefer having it on a circle instead of lines. So how do I go about doing that? I simply take all the objects or the icons in this context, select them all, and I simply go to this new tool that's available called Object on Path. Click on that and choose my path. Now here's my path. There you go. Instantly, it was able to generate it. It was able to add it onto my path in the exact spaced manner, perfectly done. Need not worry about where it's going, how it's going. And then I can actually go ahead and even animate it or work around with this and ensure that distance is exactly as per what my expectations are. So, and that's not all. You can also work around the orientation of each of these icons and see which works for you best. So again, something which is interesting and hopefully something which makes your life a lot more smoother and more creative, right? So this is what we have when we talk about Illustrator. And these features are quite intense and quite exciting. Now, if I had to go back to my presentation, we also have something in InDesign. Now, in InDesign, previously you were able to create text to image, which is this. You can simply add any part, just click on that space that you have kept for your layout, and you can simply add onto your text and create an image based on that. And now, that's not all that you can do. In case if you already have an image which you would want to take more space or needs to be expanded, you need not leave the software. You can simply just go and expand that image right there in InDesign, and you will get your image to work with your layout, just like that. And you'll get three variations for the same as well. So there is quite a lot that's happening out here, and all of it is really exciting and interesting. There is after this, there is Illustrator. We have already gone ahead and shown you, but there was another tool that I wanted to show you, which is not a tool, a feature in Photoshop Beta. And now this is for everybody who is working with 3D as well and wants to go ahead and generate something for a Photoshop combination, which we'll end up doing. We actually generate a lot of things and then we go ahead and tweak those things on Photoshop or create a background for it and things of that sort. So how do we go about and do that? I'm just going to give you a very small glimpse of that. We are going to actually have a session on this, but just for your understanding, if I had to show you something, there was a 3D sofa that I had made. I'm just going to go ahead and drag this in just like that and just wait for a second, and there you go. Okay, so as I was talking about my file wherein I have a sofa that I have gone ahead and imported onto Photoshop Beta, which is basically a 3D file. Now I'm just going to double click on that and get my view on 3D viewer, Substance 3D viewer Beta. And here what I can do is I can actually go about changing the angle, working around with whatever works for me, making it bigger and probably a little more down. There you go. Yeah, and this much. Okay. And I simply say to Photoshop. And the moment I do that, now I'll be able to see the variation that's happening here in my Photoshop file. It will immediately upload or change, just ensuring that it's done. Send to Photoshop, here you go. And my file is right here, changed according to what my expectation is. And this is really good for everybody who is working around with any product and want to ensure that you have the various angles or the views that you would want to show it in. And you can constantly keep doing this instantly without actually going to 3D, rendering it out, and then doing it. It's easier for you to just do this here directly, and you'll be able to see the results and, of course, change things around. And now with generative fill, you'll be able to make better backgrounds, make it look even more amazing. So say, for example, I just go ahead and change this to various stuff. I can actually do that and make it look even more lively. So it will work around and ensure that I'll be able to get results based on my expectations. So something which is upcoming, and we can obviously look into this a lot more in details in the next session that we'll be having, wherein we'll ensure that we have things around that works for us. And anything else that you would want to add on, Yaman?
No, I think this is good enough. So team, basically it has lot of capability and we decided to have a separate session on this. So watch out for that. We will do a deep dive on Substance 3D beta viewer.
Absolutely. And with this, we have actually gone ahead and completed most of our stuff. And yeah, that's where we are.